Hey guys, I'm here with Michael Binger. We're about to head off to lunch, and I had to ask you how the day's going, and I guess your biggest tip of the day.
Well, today we got to deal with bigger blinds, and so we had shallower stacks relative to the blinds. We're playing 200, 400 with an ante, first 200, 400, and then with an ante, and then I moved up my table to 300, 600 with a $50 ante. And they had anywhere from 2,000 or 3,000 up to maybe 10 or 15,000. So it's a very realistic tournament type situation in the middle of a tournament, which is a crucial stage of the tournament. And so I was trying to emphasize to them stack sizes relative to the blinds and understanding what that meant, that's your action. Like if you had 300, 600 blinds and you had 3,000, 4,000 chips, your only move is all in or fold. And so you have to realize that. And so I was emphasizing to them that the most important variables today to look at are your stack size relative to the blinds and your opponent's stack size relative to the blinds and your position at the table. How many people are left to act and if anybody's entered the pot. And this is a little bit, and to some extent, these variables are more important than the hand values that you have. Whereas yesterday, we were playing at the beginning stage of the tournament with small blinds relative to stacks. Then you're looking at your hand, and that's more important. Playing solid, tight, in early position, and only good hands. But now, when the blinds are going up, you're looking for spots. There's a lot of spots, and I tried to point them out today, where you have to move all in with any two cards. Let's say there's a spot where it was folded to the guy in this small blind, and he just had the big blind behind him, and he had about 7 big blinds. And at that point, I'm usually, especially with antes out there, I'm going to move all in with any 2 cards.
I mean, when was the last time you did that? And do you remember the cards that you had? And I can't imagine you're always thrilled with what you're moving all in with.
In a real tournament?
Yeah.
I do it probably all the time when I get short stacked, or even if I'm a big stack, but there's one person left to act and they're a small stack, I was put them all in with any 2. Last tournament I played, I remember doing that a number of times because at the Bellagio 1500 event, I ended up getting 12th place, but I had a big stack for a while, and you have to do it many times in a tournament where, if it's folded to you in a small blind and the big blind has the right stack size, you force them to wake up with a hand, and if they don't, then you take all the blinds anyways, which are significant. And even
which you hope is the case if your hand sucks.
Right. Even if you have something like 5-6, and let's say you have a lot of chips and your opponent has 4,000 in chips and the blinds are 300, 600 with a $50 ante. So you can win 1,400 immediately if they fold. And if they call, you're risking 4,000 of your chips. So it's a risk of 4,000 to win 1,400. But if you're called, you have 5-6 and they wake up with ace king, you're not dead. They're a 2-1 favorite usually, and you can still win. But they're only going to wake up with a hand, 10%, 20% of the time. So most of the time you're going to win it without a showdown. And then when there is a showdown, you'll win it some of the time then. So you have fold equity and you can. So that's what I emphasized is basically recognizing those situations where you have to play the situation and not your cards.
Well, this is great. Thank you so much because, of course, not everyone can be here. Have the opportunity to sit with you guys. So this is nice.
Yeah.
Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go eat some lunch.